I worked retail. I worked at GameStop for years in college. I got to a manager position where I had a store manager above me and a regional manager above them. And like we could deduce things like from like release dates and stuff like that sometimes, but we didn't know anything, even up to my store and even the regional manager. They very, they almost never knew stuff that was like significant. Certainly nothing like this. And like maybe Destin called his local Costco and got a hold of like the store manager. And maybe they told him this. Somewhat reasonable. Maybe they got a memo. Maybe there was an email. Maybe something went around with them being like, hey, take the Xbox, branding off the shelves or whatever. He doesn't say that anywhere, at least not what I've seen. But it also seems possible that he just called a Costco and the first person that answered, like an associate there, like a regular worker, he was like, hey, do you guys have Xboxes? And they were just like, no, I don't think we're getting any more. And then he hung up and tweeted this out. My issue with that is that so far, I think GameIndustry.biz or whatever has reached out to Microsoft and Costco, like the official channels, and have got no responses as of the recording of this podcast at in the afternoon of the 26th of September. So maybe that changes, and I assume it will here fairly soon. But this wasn't like an official channel. From his own, talking, he called Costco. And that's not like good, right? Like you can't or you shouldn't report a story like this being very definitive, being like they're no longer doing it and they said it's because of business decisions, when it sounds like at best you talk to like a store manager at a local Costco, and at worst he just spoke to like the customer service person who answers at the store, like, or whoever was closest to a phone when it rang, right? And like, that's rough. Like, that's not very good. That's not very thorough. That's not very reliable, at least in my opinion. I think that's pretty hacky journalism, if you ask me. Maybe you're not. And it could be completely true that Costco isn't getting any more Xboxes and won't be retailing them anymore. That's not my problem. That's fine. Okay. My issue is the reporting of this. And I think the only reason he posted it the way he did was for it to seem like a credible report, even though there's no credibility behind it, so that it would get picked up by, SEO and all of the, various outlets to post about this, which is exactly what has happened. All of the major, game outlets, gaming news outlets have posted about this. I'm sure a litany of content creators and influencers have posted on social media about it and all this. And I've seen dozens of these stories already, all citing his reporting, Destin's reporting, even though his reporting, as far as we can tell, isn't official or backed up or verified.